Coming up on the Angus Report, a Louisiana Angus producer shares his observations after catastrophic flooding in the South.
News about genomic tests for commercial cattlemen and more powerful prediction capabilities.
Tips for loading and unloading cattle.
And keeping a lid on cow herd maintenance costs while ensuring growth.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. Cattlemen and women in some parts of Louisiana are wading through the damage of what's often called the worst natural disaster to hit the U.S. since Hurricane Sandy. Significant rainfall overwhelmed southern portions of the state where catastrophic flooding left at least 13 people dead and thousands without homes. According to some reports, 11,000 people were estimated to be in shelters in late August. Of course, cattlemen in the region weren't spared from the damage. We talked to Louisiana Angus breeder Lee Robbins, who resides just north of the flooding, and says effects on producers are far from over.
We deal with rains and floods. This was just beyond what we've seen before in that area. The rains just came in, similar to a hurricane, but there was a lot more rain than a hurricane normally brings. And so neighborhoods were flooded, pastures were flooded, the rivers flowing through that area, the banks were just overwhelmed. Fortunately, now we're starting to see a lot of the water receding. I've been hearing reports that some of the cattle are getting back in the fields. Now, a lot of the grass is covered in silt, so it's going to be a little while before those fields recover. Hay has been critical, and that's helped out a considerable amount. But I'm thinking long-term is going to be we need continued supplies of hay. A lot of the farmers have lost their hay barns or lost the hay stocks within them because they all flooded. It's going to be tough to resupply all the farmers in that area because so many were affected. It was quite a response from the local neighbors helping each other out. And so that's just Louisiana. The spirit is here. People will recover. It's going to be hard, but that's just the way we do it.
The flooding was expected to recede exceptionally slow, given Louisiana's topography, and more rain was forecast at the time of our interview. Anyone who wishes to help may contact the Louisiana Department of Agriculture or the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. Hay and monetary donations are currently being accepted.
GeneMax Advantage, a genomic test for prospective commercial Angus replacement females, has been updated with new genomic information from the most recent Angus calibration. The improved test, available from Angus Genetics Incorporated, or AGI, and Zoetis, now includes genetic data from more than 100,000 Angus cattle. Dan Mosier, president of AGI, says genomic test results on Angus replacement females can help minimize risk in decision making.
The value proposition for genomic testing runs really very much long term. If there's, immediately the opportunity to select the heifers that are genetically superior for things like heifer pregnancy, and so using that selection should result in higher conception rate. As you keep daughters of those heifers, that genetic benefit is passed on. So not only is this heifer going to remain in the herd for a long time, that one test will provide information throughout her lifetime, but the next generation of females will also inherit some of that advantage. There's also a chance to help market your feeder cattle at a premium by testing your heifers, so that if you can use the average value of the heifers you test to document the genetics of the steers that you have for sale in the feeder cattle marketplace, and perhaps gain a premium for those as well.
For more information or to order GeneMax Advantage, visit angus.org/AGI.
Mark Enns, a professor of animal science at Colorado State University, says 60 to 75% of beef cattle production costs are associated with feed requirements for maintaining the cow herd. While many tools are available to help Angus breeders select animals with a lower maintenance requirement, how can producers still maximize heifer growth rates?
The ability to select for lower maintenance and still good early growth rates is a challenge. Especially without the right tools to do that. But just like we did with birth weight and yearling weight producing high spread animals, so we got lower birth weight but they grew really fast to yearling weight, we've got to do the same thing with yearling weight and mature size and start to break that relationship and identify outliers. And once we do that and we get better and better tools, we can select those sires that give us that those daughters that produce at lower maintenance levels. And so really your best tool are the $EN and the $ME.
Ranchers who have to ship cattle sometimes put the trucking side of their business in a limited liability corporation. That's a good idea from a tax perspective, but Paul Neefer with farm finance firm Clifton Larson Allen suggests ranchers ensure they protect their operations by careful adherence to documentation requirements.
Just because you've put the truck into the LLC, you actually have to run it like a business. You need to have a checking account. You need to probably have some annual meetings, documentation. Another thing that we see, technically, if they're doing trucking services, they may no longer be a ranch employee. They need to be an employee of the LLC, which means they have to file a 941 instead of a 943. There's just a lot of that extra documentation that the rancher needs to make sure they do. Even if they have proper insurance, there's been several court cases that says if you don't dot your I's and cross your T's, the insurance company is not responsible to pay for the lawsuit. So if a rancher really wants to protect themselves, they need to make sure that they follow the guidelines properly.
While many ranchers begin to look to wean calves and ship them, experts suggest you walk through the loadout facilities before the truck arrives. Texas A&M Extension Specialist Ron Gill says working with cattle's natural instincts as well as having the proper working facilities create a low-stress environment, which is easier on the cattle and cattlemen. Gill says loading chutes should be long with a small incline and non-slip surfaces, complete with bumpers for trailers to back into, eliminating areas where injury might happen. That way, cattle should be more willing to load and unload calmly. Gill also adds that when you work cattle, speed and efficiency often are results of cattlemen moving slowly and calmly and working with the cattle. More information is available in the Angus Beef Bulletin.
The Applied Reproductive Strategies and Beef Cattle Workshop takes place September 7th and 8th in Des Moines, Iowa. The event brings together scientists and veterinarians from 13 states to help beef producers hone their reproductive skills on best management practices in handling embryo transfer, reproductive health, genetics, nutrition, fetal programming, pregnancy detection, and much more. The workshop is hosted by Iowa State University, the Iowa Beef Center, and the Beef Reproduction Task Force. Also, Angus Media will be on hand to provide comprehensive coverage at appliedreprostrategies.com.
When we return, a Nebraska feeder shares how he fills growing demand for high-quality beef.
Plus, Kelly Ritalik of Angus Genetics Incorporated shares some performance insights.
Visit angus.media to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the makers of Safeguard Cattle Dewormer. Healthy cattle perform better. Add Safeguard, add pounds. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
This isn't a 9-to-5 job. So when you check the pants one last time, put away the tools, and make sure everything's ready to hand off to the night crew. It's not the clock that tells you the day is over. It's the confidence of knowing you got it right. It's having one less thing to worry about when the sun goes down. So when you see the signs of BRD, choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health. Talk to your veterinarian about Zuprevo for BRD treatment.
As a business owner, we use it a lot in our waters at the Green City Livestock Market. We put it in the water about once a month, and it keeps all of the waters clean. It helps keep all of the contamination out of the water from calves coming in and out of the barn so regularly. And we have a lot of buyers that say that they don't buy as many sick calves, and we contribute it all to Cattle Active, you bet. I'm Kevin Lair, and I use Cattle Active.
The GGP-LD, the most popular low-density genomic profile on the market, is now available for Angus. And at $45 per head, you can afford to test all your cattle. Plus, you can save even more time and money raising reputation seed stock. Put the GGP-LD profiler to work finding your best bull calves and the elite females that will brand your legacy. For more affordable accuracy, go GGP, a new brand of partner.
California, the high Sierras, the Pacific Blue. It's also a leading source for registered Angus seed stock. This fall, make California your first Angus choice. September and October offer more than 30 sales from some of the best breeders in America. And they've got quality Angus cattle that are performance and genomically tested and ready for work. To learn more about these breeders, visit CaliforniaAngus.com. California, your first Angus choice.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Tehama Angus Ranch is steeped in more than 70 years of quality Angus cattle. Now's your chance to let Tehama Genetics work for you, selling 140 spring and fall yearlings at our 42nd annual Generations of Performance Bull Sale, featuring ranch-raised bulls developed on a high roughage ration with lots of room to move, bred for calving ease and performance, backed by decades of data and maternal selection. Join us Friday, September 9th in Gerber, California. Bid online at liveauctions.tv.
Looking to grow your business? The Angus Convention is coming to Indianapolis, November 5th through the 7th, with one of the nation's largest cattle industry trade shows attracting leading, quality-oriented producers from across the country. This is the place to expand your brand. Booth spaces are filling up fast. Visit AngusConvention.com to reserve your spot at the Angus Convention, November 5th through the 7th in Indianapolis.
Beef quality is everyone's responsibility, including yours. That's why the Checkoff-funded Beef Quality Assurance Program is key to your future. BQA, empowering people because you can make a difference, taking responsibility because it's our job, not someone else's, working together because product safety and wholesomeness is everyone's business. Find out more at bqa.org.
Have you discovered self-deworming cattle products? All the benefits of an effective deworming without all the labor, handling, and stress. Discover Safeguard self-deworming cattle products. Ask your local animal health provider or visit safeguardcattle.com for more information.
Angus breeders, predictability is now more affordable. Introducing the I50K from Zoetis, a genomic test that allows you to dig deeper for untapped herd potential. Access genomic information on even more animals for less cost without sacrificing accuracy. I50K from Zoetis helps you make more informed decisions sooner and better match your females to that perfect sire. To learn more, visit i50k.com.